Welcome back to the Rise Personal Training Podcast. It's Coach Sam here with the boss man, Coach Ryan.
Ryan. Yes, I still coach sometimes.
All right. Well, we're back talking about a new word that has recently come into marketing, longevity.
Oh, well, yeah. So you guys are hearing it everywhere, media, marketing, influencers, celebrities. The idea with longevity training, and it's where that's kind of coming from, and it is kind of a marketing word for the most part, because longevity training really is just smart training, right?
Yeah.
There's no secret sauce. There's nothing behind like this magic new, the training before was not stuff that's going to improve our life. But really, there are also key differences in how people are looking at things,
right?
And actually how we are changing programmings and stuff like that behind it.
Yeah, really just to live a longer, healthier life.
Yeah.
We're feeling better for later into our life. If you're a grandma, if you're a mom running around with little kids, it's less about the aesthetics, more about feeling good and feeling strong and feeling safe within your body.
Yeah, it's like the goals change, right? Where before it's like, all right, I need to lose body fat. I got to get ripped. I want to have, a flat stomach, 6-pack abs. I want to get, jacked, whatever it's going to be.
Right.
And those still are goals for some people, but especially, we work with a lot of people that are 40 and up. And the goals tend to change. It is that idea like, I do want to live longer. I want to live stronger. I want to move better. I want to feel better. And that's kind of really what the whole, longevity training really is. So, when it comes to what we do and how we change things up, there's a bunch of different things. Even look at how our program is. The first thing we're working on is we're working a lot more on mobility.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't mobile at all. So if you're sitting at a desk all day, your shoulders are hunched forward, we're sleeping in bad posture, and then we're not getting any type of movement or stretching throughout our day. And so then when we try to work out, we're injuring ourselves, we're not able to move comfortably, and then you're not able to progress in your workouts either.
Yeah, so like if we're looking at, again, training for longevity, just training for general health, really. Again, it's being able to move better and move more efficiently is going to keep you feeling better. It's keep you from having injuries and aches and pains and stuff like that too. So that big focus of let's focus on not just moving with intent and beating us down with hard workouts. Let's have the intent to be to move better, to maximize what we're doing and to maintain that a lot more.
Right. We've touched on this before, especially with women over 40, bone health, super important. So that's, included in this umbrella of longevity is strengthening our bones, making sure they're feeling good so that if once we get to an age where we fall down, the likelihood of us breaking a hip might be less because we've been strength training for years.
Yeah, and women are at more risk, for certain other health issues, but men can be too. It's just anybody as we're getting older, weak bones can have other issues like that. So strength training is the number one main way that we can help to strengthen those bones to help with that, and later on throughout life too. Yeah,
and I know that there's a lot of members that are recently becoming grandparents or very exciting things, but you want to be able to run around with your grandkid. Like I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, when are you going to start lifting weights? And she's like, when I have a grandbaby to start lifting, So I think it's really important to start thinking about that later on as you were to get older. If you're in your 30s right now, you're not really having to think about it. Like there's a long time of your life ahead of you, that we need to start preparing for and feel healthy for.
And it's a weird thing for all, we have younger members too. And like, when I was in my, let's say, 20s, even early 30s, like training is different, right? It's
sure.
You think you're not going to slow down, that you're going to stay good and you're healthy and strong and stuff like that too. And so, with experience and getting older, you realize how things change, and you have to be smarter about your training too.
Yeah.
Like that really is what training for longevity really is. It's training smarter. And we do that by realizing that, you don't need to beat down your body. You don't need to do some crazy hard workouts. You don't need to be
need to feel like you're going to pass out after every workout.
Yeah, we're not pushing to till failure. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're going to push you still. We're going to challenge you. It should be challenging. It should be, but in a safe, controlled environment is what we need to do.
Like you should be sore the next day, but not so sore where you literally can't walk to your car to go to work.
Yeah, so that's why how we structure workouts, using a full body approach for almost everyone we work with is a much better way. We're not doing a body part split. We're not doing a leg day where we're going to be so overly sore.
Right.
Or we're going to start having now all of a sudden my knees flaring up and bothering me. We can work with the modifications that we need to. And that's the whole thing, is making sure you're training in a pain-free way, not pushing through pain and being stupid about it.
Yeah. Because also as we get older, we've also touched on this. Like you said, we don't really do body split. workouts because most people don't have 5-6 days
It's
to
all
train.
about, yeah, you're
you know, so
available.
as we get older, there's more responsibilities in your life, maybe work schedule is more crazy. So we only really get 2 to 3 days a week. So we need to do that full body workout.
Yeah, so that, and also just, again, coming back to like, can we optimize the minimal time that we have? We need to get the most bang for your buck out of it.
Right.
So how do we break that down? And the idea, again, with this minimal effective dose, what's the minimum amount of sets or reps or strength training, that whatever that I need to do to see the benefit,
Right.
without spending all that extra time that is only going to give you maybe a little bit more benefit, if that.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if you see the term longevity in all these crazy marketing videos on Instagram and everything, essentially it just means to be healthier long term.
Yeah, again, it's long term, and even when it comes down to, again, some of the exercise and how we choose them, we want stuff that's going to be more, easier on your joints, more joint friendly stuff.
Yeah.
For example, we don't do like back squats with a barbell on our back.
Yeah.
We maybe do a front squat, something like that for variations, but we tend to do more single leg exercises, maybe like something like a lunge or a step, but versus a heavier squat, right? Some
Right.
people are going to usually, as you get older, you're going to feel that in your low back more, right? So can we take the stress off the low back and put it more into the muscles by doing certain exercises? Like, we're going to have a little bit more better benefit that way.
Yeah, we don't need any more tweaked backs, you know?
It's like the number one most common thing that we're going to
It's
see.
so
It's going to be
common.
a low
Everyone's
back.
got low back pain. Everyone's got something. So we don't want to irritate any of that even more.
Especially now, most people, like, we always ask when they come in, like, hey, if you have a history of some type of injury or problem, you have a higher chance of that happening again too. So we just be smarter with the training. It's not
Yeah.
like, yes, we could still do a back squat if we wanted to, but there's smarter things that we can do. Something even like, hey, barbell bench press. Yes, I like to do it. People like to do it, but a dumbbell bench press is going to be better for your shoulders, your just movement over all around, even
Will be
wrists
more
like that, too.
beneficial
Yeah.
in the
So,
long
and it
run.
sounds like, oh, why am I doing this? Sometimes those more beneficial exercises are actually harder too.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't like doing some of the rear foot elevated split squats that we do, but it's a great exercise that puts a lot of, strength focus on the lower body and not so much on the spine. So
Yeah. And the difference between like a barbell and the dumbbells, like you mentioned. A lot of people are like, why am I still doing dumbbells? And I'm like, it's actually, I would say, harder because you're having to balance two weights, you know?
Yeah, it's like how we stabilize stuff.
Yep.
Right. So you think about a machine. A machine's going to go from point A to point B. That's it. It doesn't worry about going up or down, left or right in different directions. It stabilizes, so it's easier to do. You can push more weight, but then you're not using your muscles to stabilize like we do in everyday movement and everything like that too.
Exactly.
But we're also not going on the far side where we're like standing on wobble boards and squatting on a Bosu ball.
Doing
and
just unnecessary
this circus,
stuff.
crazy shit. So, and then we also, towards, as we go through your full body strength, our finishers, we have to look at metabolic health as well too.
Yes.
And
it's a big one people don't have in their day-to-day lives, as much metabolic workout.
I don't know what's harder is starting strength training when you haven't done strength training, or trying to improve your conditioning when you don't have conditioning. I'm going to say for me personally, especially just from coming in and off injuries, like, I'm doing martial arts, like I trained last night, like I'm getting tired too quick. I don't have the conditioning that I used to. And it's like a mental struggle too.
Yeah, I would say stamina is definitely something that you notice first too, because I thought my stamina was like at a 10, and then I do one of the finishers that you put on the board and I'm like, I am struggling.
Yeah, like I tend to go to the assault bike a lot, like as my go-to finisher.
Yeah.
It sucks. And when I'm like getting
doing
back
that mile
into it,
on the bike?
I'll be honest, that first like 2, sometimes 3 weeks, whether I'm doing short, high intensity or longer duration, it is a mental battle. Once I start getting that where like my cardio's improving, my conditioning's improving, it's like, okay, good. I can get through this a little bit more. I can start to push myself, but it's not such a mental.
Yeah.
I don't want to use some other swear words, but like a mental fuck. Like, damn, I don't want to go through this, right? And that's the thing. If you're not thinking about like, I don't know if I can do this, like maybe you're probably not going hard enough.
Yeah.
Right. Too. But again, we can also go at different intensities. We can do some lower intensity, longer duration stuff. We can do some short intensity, short duration, high intensity.
Yeah.
So we can play with different ends of the spectrum and when it comes to cardio, and we need to from all around benefits.
Yeah. Cardio, you need the stamina. You need to work on that aspect. If you only lift weights and you never do anything with your stamina, it's not going to be good for your longevity health.
Yeah. So again, when we're looking at, long-term health and everything like that too, when it comes to strength training, we want to do things at different reps. We want to do things at lower reps, which are lower reps, higher intensity, more strength work. We also want to go on the other end of the spectrum. We're doing more higher reps, lower weights. It's a little bit more on the endurance.
Right.
Same thing when it comes to your cardio. We want to do both ends of that too.
And you play with how much rest you're giving yourself too, because some people, they say that they're going on a walk or a run or they're doing intervals at home, but how long are you resting in between? Are you coming all the way back to your resting heart rate before you're kicking it back up again? Or on our finishers, we have it on a timed timer. So you only have a certain amount to rest. That's really going to improve your overall stamina.
Yeah, there's different, right? Going off heart rate is great. It's probably, I feel like, a little bit more ideal. Sometimes we just want to do it fixed where it's time short. Maybe you're not going to get as much recovery. Again, it's going to give you a different adaptation.
Yeah.
Some of you guys may have heard this. There was a big trend towards like this whole zone 2 cardio, which is this
Right.
lower intensity, things like that. And like, this is the way and do it. But again, there's benefits to different things. We need to do a combination of most of these. A lot of people were coming in like, oh, I'm getting my steps in a day. Great. That's great if you're getting 10,000 steps a day. Your heart rate's not really getting elevated, right?
Right.
So it's good from a general movement standpoint, but that's why we do these high intensity finishes at the end, because
Right.
most people aren't pushing themselves on that end of the spectrum.
And that's why you should come and do your finishers when we tell you to do a finisher.
Yep. So the next time you're like, okay, no, next time I'll catch you guys Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday I'll do the finisher. Tuesday comes, and then on Thursday I'll get the
Right.
finisher.
It happens a lot, especially in the morning.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, night two. Trust me, I'm like holding people to it. And sometimes I get it. You've got to run out to do the kids. Can I get a minute? Can you give me 2 minutes? 3
We
minutes?
could
4
work
minutes?
hard for a
Short
minute
and
and a
quick.
half.
That's it. Right. It doesn't take a lot to get a good benefit.
Yeah.
We can get so much great benefits from just a small quick burst. Really.
Yeah.
The other end's going to come down to nutrition, recovery, stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
the stuff outside of your training when it comes to longevity is, are we getting, again, on the body composition side, are we making sure we're keeping your muscle at least, and if not gaining some lean muscle? So are we getting enough protein? Are we getting, good fiber, good
Yeah.
vitamins and minerals and stuff like that too? And I can't say it enough. If you guys haven't gotten your blood work done and stuff like that, make it a priority to
Get
get
a
it done.
checkup.
I need to do it myself as well.
Yeah, I just did mine probably for the first time in 10 years because I kept forgetting as well. But it's important. We need to know where we're at.
A lot of different, metabolic disease, cardiac disease and stuff can be preventable through
Yes.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
And nothing's worse than you're catching it too late.
Yeah.
Right. So it's better that, hey, we can see you're already moving in the right direction. Let's course correct now.
Right.
Right. So for example, we get people coming in and they're like, hey, I'm pre-diabetic now. Right. That's a lifestyle thing. Okay, let's clean it up. Let's fix it. And it's great to see when they get their blood work back and, hey, I'm back to normal levels.
Exactly.
Fantastic. You waited too long where you become, type 2 diabetic. Now, you're in trouble now. Right. So if you catch things earlier on, it's very preventative, and that kind of all ties together with what we're doing here too.
Yeah.
And then also sleep. Right.
Oh. Sleep. Your favorite thing.
Don't even talk to me. I am a, what's the word?
It's crazy how important sleep actually is because everyone always knows it, right? But a lot of times our schedules don't permit us to get as much sleep as we would like. I fortunately love to nap and I'm good at napping. And so because I wake up really early to come here, I have now learned where I need an hour of sleep in the middle of the day almost every day, and I've noticed such a change in my in-body and my energy and everything just by sleeping more. And I thought the amount I was getting was fine. I was able to, survive throughout the day, but it's crazy how much it really is going to help your recovery or just your overall workings of your body.
Yeah, we can survive off, 5 hours a day or less, but
Yeah.
can we thrive? That's a big difference.
Right.
And when we see a lot of the research on what happens when someone's getting a solid 7, 8+ hours of sleep versus they're getting 5 or 6 or 5 or less, it's a significant drop in literally everything.
Yeah.
Mental health, body composition, recovery. I would say strength training is probably the number one magic pill of anything.
Yeah.
But it's I'm without the good sleep with it, it's not going to be as beneficial.
And obviously, if you have little kids, and we know sleep is harder to come by all the time.
Our moms
but
will walk in I
I'm
made
just
it.
trying to be here.
I'm here. I'm alive.
Yeah.
Especially, we have so many parents that have that, some newborns to that 1 to 3, 4 year range
Yeah.
is a big thing. So,
Yeah.
and they're just.
And we get it. It happens. But as
salute
long
to
as
you.
it's in the back of your mind that you know that if you have a day or the kid's off at a play date or something and you can take a second for yourself, try to relax, it will really benefit you.
Yeah. And so, that's kind of the idea with longevity training. What does it mean? What it means training with purpose to live longer, to live stronger and healthier.
Yep.
And again, really training smarter, maximizing what we're doing. And again, we talk about kind of focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And you'll see these lists like, okay, here we go. We have to
drink a gallon of water a day, eat 150
get sunlight,
grams
you have
of
X
protein.
amount of this. It's like these insane lists of what to do. And those should be things to do. Don't get overwhelmed and being like, I have to knock off all these things.
Right.
Start small, one thing at a time. You guys are already here. We're getting our strength training.
Yeah.
Let's improve our sleep a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
make some changes to our nutrition a little bit better. Like, again, those step by step. So if you guys have questions, need help, let us know. You guys don't really take advantage. Some people do, some people don't. Is the extra help outside the gym that we offer. Check-in calls, conversations, book an appointment, whatever it's going to be. We're here to, let's talk about schedules, let's talk about your stress, whatever, let's talk about your nutrition, training outside the gym, whatever it's going to be. Use the coaches, reach out, ask a coach in person.
I love chatting. I'm sure if you've worked with me. Tell me about it.
We're here to help. So let us know.
I think that's it.
All right, guys, we'll catch you next week. Thank you.
See ya.